you?
Well, you know, we're going to continue with this food theme here. We're going to be talking about clam bakes. They're a tradition in New England, as you well know. And joining us this morning from Francis Farms is Kathy Mello, who is a wedding coordinator, actually. But you know a lot about the farm. So first, before we get to the wedding coordination, tell us a little bit about the farm.
Well, Francis Farm is the oldest clam bake facility still existing today, and it's over 125 years old, starting off as providing a clam bake for the Goff family, for a family reunion.
Right.
And that happened over 125 years ago, and still today, the Goff family returns every year for their family reunions.
That's pretty amazing.
It is, having their clam bakes with the clam cakes and chowder that Francis Farm is famous for. And now, over the last 5 or 6 years or so, Mr. Foley has poured millions of dollars and changed the facility a bit, where he's built 2 beautiful gazebos for wedding ceremonies. He's rebuilt the halls that used to be standing at Francis Farm, and still well known for his clam bakes and clam cakes and chowder, and extended the services where we're not only doing family reunions and corporate organizations used to have their functions, but also personalized it with birthday parties, graduations, class
Just about
reunions,
any event.
any event they provide now.
Can you combine the two?
Absolutely. You can do a small function for 10 people to 500 people for weddings or anything like that. You can have, we have public bakes where you can do your, enjoy the clam bakes. And it's amazing how the facility has changed in its appearance. He has done that, made these renovations, but still kept the rustic setting that Francis Farm is known for.
Trying to keep that overall theme that's made it such a Rhode Island institution for so very long.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of people, obviously people from New England, they know exactly what a clam bake is, but there are a lot of people that join us on the internet that may not be quite so sure what a clam bake is. Tell us what a clam bake is.
Well, we have clam bakes and clam boils, and a clam boil is cooked over the stove and it's steamed, and that's done as a boil. Then we have the clam bakes that Francis Farm is known for, where it starts off as a huge wooden fire, and then they add the ingots and the seaweed. And then they place on top of that your foods, and on top of that a canvas, 5 or 6 canvases. And then that smokes and cooks for an hour.
So that cook with steam or with smoke?
With all the smoke and the heat, we'll cook all of those foods. And then the canvases are removed, and the staff pulls off the entire clam bake, and then they prepare it, you know, separate it and serve it. As clam cakes and chowder first, and then it finishes off with all the fish and the potatoes and onions.
Yeah, if you've never been to a clam bake, you really have to get yourself to one, because it's just something to behold. It's a whole scene. It's not just, you know, you come out with a plate and here's your food. You get this whole extravaganza going. You know, a little more about the weddings there. What do they start at, the packages at? I mean, you said you can start for anywhere from 10 to 125, I think you said.
Oh, for guests.
For guests.
From, you know, small parties, and then you can have smaller weddings up to 500.
Up to 500.
We have outdoor pavilions where you can have your receptions, or we have 2 newly built halls, depending on the number of guests. And what's so beautiful about having your wedding at Francis Farm is you can have a casual, comfortable feeling, and yet you have the elegance of the halls with your china and your centerpieces. And we try to keep it within brides and grooms' budgets, you know, with the economy the way it is today. You can go simple, you can go extremely elegant, but we also give the brides and groom choices of selecting their own photographers and keeping everything in a budget where they're, you know, comfortable with.
Well, it sounds fantastic. Kathy Mello, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. My pleasure.
Okay.
And seeing you thought it was going to be hard, didn't it?
Yes.
So easy it was.